Hey everybody, this is Ryan E. Louie, and this is the Digg series. This is episode number 7. Hard to believe it's already number 7. This has been a fun and exciting journey. I hope that you folks have enjoyed the past episodes. It was really, really nice to hear feedback from episode number 6. That was the interview with James Muschler. He is such a great, warm soul, and he was a lot of fun to hang out with, and I was glad he was able to be on the podcast. I appreciate the comments, as always. And, of course, there will always be, I have more interviews with other people that are being planned throughout the new year. Anyway, it being the new year, let's get started. I thought we would talk about New Year's goals, New Year's resolutions, it being January 7th here. It is pretty early in the morning for a Sunday morning. A little bit chilly outside. As I get started here, I wanted to make sure that this podcast got recorded. And so anyway, I would like to do a shout out as we do. And the shout out goes to, I'm going to do Wadsworth and Medina, their top bands. So that would be Dana Heyer conducts the wind ensemble at Wadsworth High School, and Jason Locker conducts the symphony band at Medina. The percussionist in those groups is the shout out. You folks remember that you are the top percussionists in your own respective districts. Don't forget that. You folks are awesome percussionists. Okay, so let's get started with this this episode, which is New Year's goals, New Year's resolutions. Here we go. Every year, I know that teachers, when kids get back into school, one of the questions they always ask the students, most do, some do, yeah, that do you have any New Year's resolutions? And we tend to look at New Year's resolutions as a restart and something that we can work on to make us better. I often look at New Year's resolutions actually as New Year's goals. What are the goals I need to set for the year? I've been doing, goal setting, since I was in high school. And the way that I would go about doing it, one of my language arts teachers, actually we called it back then, I called it English teachers, in English, which is now language arts, of course, would show us a method of brainstorming by, like, we call it shadow brainstorming. Shadow brainstorming is where I just list like a circle in the middle of a page. And I've shown this to a lot of you, a lot of my students that I've seen this. And then I just, have a stem that I draw and I start listing goals. And this can be anywhere from personal goals, wanting to lose 20 pounds. That is a goal that sometimes most times I don't even try and reach. I try and reach it, but do I actually lose 20 pounds, right? Anyway, or, professional goals, spiritual goals, lifestyle goals, all of these things I spider, so to speak, brainstorm. So a stem becomes that, and then I have stems that come off of that. And anyway, I've been doing it for a very, very long time, and we're talking decades of brainstorming for goal setting. So I thought I would talk about some of the goals that I set and why I want to set them, and also show appreciation and be grateful for the things that I get to do and that I have. And so this is a little bit more of a personal podcast session where I get to show gratitude as well as we look forward into the new year on all the things that are possible and all the things that you want to be able to accomplish. And anyway, so, I used to always list my goals into two different kinds of sections. There were personal goals and there were professional goals. I did this for a couple of decades, and everything was kind of listed separately. So, for instance, some of my personal goals could be how do I, or I would like to become more spiritual. That's in the religion that I'm in, as well as just my soul and myself. And then I would start to list out all those things that would do that, from going to church to reading more about spirituality and trying to become a more complete person on that side of my life. Another personal goal would be, I had brought up, lose 20 pounds and or just live healthier. Don't eat late. Don't eat past 9 o'clock. Make sure that you're exercising and you're stretching and doing lifting and all those kind of things. Keeping your hands, your arms, and your tendons all nice and relaxed and loose when you play. Another personal goal would be to keep a financial side of what I do positive, in the black, if you know what I mean, and as in, make sure you're not spending too much, you're being frugal with what you buy. That's like another snare drum, because that's what I need, are more snare drums or practice pads or drumsticks. Anyway, and that is a habit, right? Anyway, but, so that would be, spending habits. Relationships, as you know what I mean, i.e., if you know, and, relationships with my kids and with Hudson, Olivia, and Lance. All of those I listed as personal goals. Even before I had kids, before I was married, before any of these things, I was doing that. And then I would have my professional goals. My professional goals would be, win a principal timpani job, or, before that, be a better drum set player, be a better percussionist, be able to sight read better, to be able to record more, all the projects that I have. I usually start to list those out, and anyway, the list would go on and on and on. When I was at Carnegie Mellon, I was studying with Tim Adams. He was at that time he was principal timpanist with the Pittsburgh Symphony. It was a real honor, and it was great to be able to know him, to study with him. We were in a lesson, or we were hanging out. It's one of the two. He had mentioned, just so you know, like when you do your goal setting, goal setting could be really all one section, because all you really is goal setting for yourself. And so your personal goals and your professional goals, they're just all your goals. Do you really need to segregate them and separate them up into, two direct categories? And so that was a good realization of, how your personal goals and your professional goals, they're all goals that you have. And so I really combined my spider sheet and brainstorming, and I just list from that. After that, of course, though, I can categorize them in different ways that I do it. And to Tim's credit, he's correct in the sense that, your professional life affects your personal life, and professional life can mean on any level, from being an adult and, make sure that your goal setting is that way. And also, as a student, to become a better student, to become a better person. It all affects everything. To become a better drummer, to practice more, to do all these kind of things that ultimately want to make you into a better person, right? And that could be student-wise, that could be professional in your adulthood. And anyway, so these are some of the goals that I list, and hopefully I can accomplish a lot of these throughout the year. So one of the first things is to always work on becoming just a better person, because I know if I can become a better person, that affects my playing in every way possible. One thing is, and it always comes up. I was just journaling this morning about it, but it is how to find and be your true self. That may be a kind of a cliche saying, but what is your true self when you are goal setting for the year? And I should say that there are two kinds of goals that I do list, and they are like long-term goals, and they're also short-term goals. Even though I'm setting goals for the year, some of these goals are like lifetime goals, and but it always turns into short-term goals, which is how do you achieve your long-term goals. Now, I hope that's not too dizzying, and I'm just kind of talking in a circle, but so, finding who your true self is, becoming self-aware, and being aware of your environment, your friends that you have, your family that you love and adore. And all of those things I try and work on. First and foremost, what is my true self? So I just really list what I think I am. That can be a father, a drummer, a timpanist, an educator, a mentor, all of those, a timpanist for sure, an artist, a person that loves to cook. Oh, this weekend I made Hawaiian fried rice. For those who know me, I love to cook. And always another goal as far as cooking goes. And this is just going to be like a kind of a whole mess of ideas being thrown at you. So bear with me, and I hope you can keep up and I don't get too far off track. I made Hawaiian fried rice. What is Hawaiian fried rice? I had some of my close friends, Sam Peel, who was the assistant band director at Wadsworth High School and at the middle school there. And he's a close friend, and Dave Seltzer, who I do plan to interview on the next episode. His story is a great story, and what he does today is truly incredible. Anyway, I had him over for Hawaiian fried rice, and Lance too. And what is Hawaiian fried rice? Well, it's regular fried rice, and but I added Spam. Don't mock me, you can. But if you tried Hawaiian fried rice, Spam is a big component of it. And my mother had sent me over from Hawaii, some Portuguese sausage. Hawaiians say it in such a Hawaiian term, they call it Portuguese sausage. And, I remember when I got it, actually, I made it into Hawaiian breakfast, which is like Portuguese sausage, steamed rice, and eggs. And that's like a Hawaiian breakfast for sure. Anyway, that is what I put in my fried rice, along with sweet corn. And so along with that, the fried rice, I usually don't get to cook Hawaiian fried rice. And I haven't had Spam in a while, but Hawaiians love to eat Spam, and I grew up eating Spam. And so to put it in fried rice was a lot of fun. I always try and when I'm goal setting, I would like to cook 5 different dishes a day, in the year, and try and expand my culinary food palette. And anyway, so one of the different kinds of foods I do plan on cooking is not only to expand my Hawaiian cuisine, but actually to put in Indian cooking. I used to make it, my mom always made it all the time, is beef curry stew, and that's with the yellow curry. I have expanded making some masala, tikka masala, excuse me for badgering that. And anyway, so that, this is all part of my lifestyle, which I do love to cook so much. And I always would tell my friends and family that if I wasn't a drummer or musician, an artist, I'd be a chef somewhere for sure. And anyway, onward with goal setting. So we talked about spiritual goals. We talked about, some along of these personal goals of trying to find your true self and what that really is. But it's just realizing what you are and being grateful for what you are, and also being hopeful of what you can become. I think that being an artist, being a musician, one of the great things about it is that it is an always evolving door of who you are and who you can become. Your job, your being is never accomplished, as in, the ceiling is always moving, and it's great. It is daunting. It is all of those things. I do not set limits, and I always want to become a better person, yet alone a better percussionist, a better artist. And a lot of you, with my journey going to the desert and recording and the projects that I have in store, the amount of travel, the amount of teaching, the amount of growing, all these things, I really look forward to every year. Some of the different goals that I have for the studio, that Studio Louie, is how to make it a better place, a better environment to learn in, how to make sure that my teaching is up to date with up to date with the newest ways to educate, the newest ways to try and discover and develop intrinsic motivations. All of you know the difference between external and intrinsic motivators. I've said it many, many times. And if you need a refresher, you can always comment. Also, how to increase the level of students, and to make them, and not make them, but encourage them to have more fun when they're playing. How to make the studio better. I do have more recording projects that are in store. Plan to go out to the Highlands in, I think it's North Carolina, and do some more recording with Digg out there, possibly going over Luge in France and do some recording. These are all such positive experiences and goals that are setting, which when it comes to performing and playing, makes me want to practice even more. One of the goals that I set is I'm taking myself through a drum set book called Advanced Funk Studies by Rick Latham. I think it's Rick Latham, and if I badgered it, I apologize. But anyway, I plan to go through that book. How I plan to go through it is I take 3 exercises a day, and that's it. And I just started yesterday. So I did 3 of them. And then once I was done with that and I got those playing, I'm done. I'll go into the studio today and do the same thing. I'm going to do 3 more. So it's 3 every day that I'm in there. And within a couple of months, I'll plow through the book. And what I plan to gain from Advanced Funk Studies is that I want to expand my 16th straight 8th note playing, my independence, all those kinds of things. Working on my hands, getting better chops. David Seltzer and I were writing music the other day, and his hands just are a lot better than mine. Yeah, we were playing on the practice pads as we're writing, and he was doing egg beaters. Those who know, and my egg beaters are really, really bad. That's a hybrid rudiment, and anyway, his are way faster than mine. Well, so my goal is to get better at egg beaters and hopefully get faster than him. Anyway, but his hands and chops are truly, truly, truly monstrous, for me. Anyway, so these are just a few of the goals that I set for myself. I hope that you folks can set goals for yourself. Whether it be taking an audition or practicing a little bit more, or, eating a little bit more healthy, or starting to journal, or try to find who your true self is. As cliche says it is, it's really, really important. Give yourself a compliment every day. And it's easy to be able to hop on the good old wagon and criticize yourself all the time. But it is also, I think, when trying to find your true self, it's okay to give yourself a compliment. List your achievements that you've had for the day. List the stuff that you need to work on for the day. It's always about a balance. We're trying to find a balance in who we are and what we try and do. I am grateful for my family and friends that have surrounded me, and I do look forward, to this new year of searching and finding who my true self is, as we should always be growing and evolving. And sometimes we're moving forward, we're taking big leaps, but also in order to do that, we take a few leaps and a few steps back. And sometimes in order to do that is how you truly grow as a person. It doesn't matter what age you are, right? I think we know that kind of adage stays kind of true to that. Find your true self. That's a great goal. Anyway, I am grateful for, again, my friends and family, not to be so redundant, but I can't thank you folks enough for being there for me. And I look forward to the new year. So, look forward to my next episode with the interview with David Seltzer. And be true to yourself. Have a great week. And I will talk to you next time. Truth.